Now this is starting to look like Fairy Tail again. It was about time. Fairy Tail is not meant to be the kind of manga where the main characters are all facing despair and defeat. No, they are supposed to be the kind of manga when they actually stand up to once again fight against impossible odds. So please, through all of this, just what's that word? Just go forward, so to speak. This is the Angry Anime Fan, the Despair Reviewer. Finally again, Fairy Tail 100-year quest chapter. And first of all, the pretty fun cover page. Is that a racing car with Elsa driving and, well, Wendy being her pit chief or cruise chief or whatever. In this chapter, once again, we are reunited with Brandish, who is of course mocking Lucy a little bit of the maid unit she's doing. And she mentions that Spring and 12 has dissembled, even though it's all of their faults, but also saying it doesn't really matter. Because, well, Seraph, as you know, or probably don't know, it doesn't really matter what you know, was the one who united the Alvarez Empire, but apparently with his death that has not been so easy anymore. Granted, that is not so very unlikely. After all, Seraph was a very powerful dark wizard, so who knows really what happened. And but the strange thing is, the one who has risen to emperor is actually none other than the arrogant Sandman Aegil. Don't really know why someone as arrogant as him took the throne, but hey, I guess what it is. And also, apparently, once upon a time he was a prince from a small country in Alvarez. I think there was some information that he once came from a sand nation, so maybe yeah. And apparently he has calmed down since the last battle. So Jagiel, his grandfather, and Jacob are now with him. The Mara has somehow turned over a new leaf and is actually living peacefully in a farm. That arrogant Valkyria, okay, that was also kind of unexpected. But also kind of sweet and funny at the same time. Wonder what kind of made her change her views that much. If I had to guess, maybe the fear of being confronted by E and D and the fact that she was shrinked by Brandish so much may have traumatized her, so she actually don't matter. The only two that hasn't really been up to no good is actually Invel and Nineheart, who has been sent to prison for plotting another war. Invel, I get why he was sent to prison, because, well, you know, it's after all, he is the one who was the right-hand man of the emperor and the only one who actually knew who Seraph really was. But Nineheart was nothing more than an egotistical jackass, so I guess, and his magic was a very kick the dog moment, so I guess that. Does mention that Lacard is nowhere to be found, but then again, we know let's see now here. Wasn't Lacrade that Seraph book demon that proclaimed himself Seraph's son? Yeah, in that case he's dead. Irene, Bloodman, Weil, and Godsedina died, and with them with Grams as well, so, you know, the most powerful magician of them all. So with that, Spring and 12 is not anymore, but Brandish is surprisingly not blaming blaming Lucy for all of this. I guess it's her Cinder side. However, she does say she doesn't really want to help because she came here for a goal of her own. And apparently, according to her, the key to Aquarius that Lucy is looking for is in Guiltina, and she came to search for it. But she's not she's not helping an enemy. But she does says she doesn't mind being friends, but she's not gonna lend the key to them. So she will take Aquarius for herself. So she returns Grey to She returns Grey to Lucy before making her big again. And once again we see a very funny scene with switching quick back to Yuvia, who's saying that her love sensing was over. So as Brandish and Lucy parts on good terms, and also as friends, but also as a rivalry of racing who's gonna find Aquarius key first. So they decides to go back to scouting. Elsewhere in Magnolia, it turns out that Jalal did not confront Laxus after all, but saying she's not gonna let the girl out of her sight. But strangely enough, having seen all of this, even Jalal begins to doubt that is Toka really the Toka. So who knows? But I mean, she is, uh, especially of her saying for her to be in fairy tale is complicated. So yeah, I mean, so far there are a lot of clues are strong that Toka is not who she seems to be. But even by some miracle, she is not that white mage, although there have been some foreshadowing hints that she is. It's clear though that she is a kind of a zany character, especially since she puts a lot of characters from Juvia and even Lucio, the fact that she has her fairytale guild in this scene. So whoever she is, at least someone is. It is also worth noting that if she is that white mage, it's actually pretty good because, you know, she is in fairy tale, the guild where people protect each other, so, you know, maybe that was all of her plan all along, knowing she was going to be tracking down or whatever. I know that's not a word, but hey, as you allow what Elsa was doing, we still see the scene uh, where Kyria is having her fun of forcing Elsa to eat rotten food and squashing her with water and all these things. So yeah, it's pretty sadistic, sexy games of it all. Kyria really is a psycho lesbian, as they really used to call these kind of characters. But during the night, finally Ersa awakens, and finally she's back to the Ersa is back to the way she is, but she refuses to attack Kyria in sleep because, well, she is at night that way. She finds Natsu and Wendy, and apparently the cut the strength was a hypnosis. It wasn't permanent, uh, and since she has only one artificial eye, she was able to return herself because it only affected her half. Still, though, it affected her for a very long time. Or was she just pretending all this time from this hypnosis? Is it possible? I mean, it would have been kind of cool if all of this was just pretending, but no, I don't think it was pretending. It was just the fact that she could withstand it thanks to her artificial eyes. As she frees Natsu and Wendy, she remembers suddenly that they're on a ship, but then suddenly their counterattack has begun. Brandish said she wouldn't help, but well, she didn't say. She said she wouldn't fight alongside them, but she never said she wouldn't make a rock big, as she creates a small mountain rock on the ship, making the ship stop moving, as well as finally freeing the Dragon Slayer from their prison. With revived resolve, it's time to start a counterattack. So please start the counterattack! It was humiliating enough to see Ersa being so beaten up that way. I mean, it could have been sexy, but that was actually kind of more disturbing than was sexy. Note, this is the second time Ersa has been humiliated that way. The first time, I mean, if you don't count being as a child, which doesn't count because that wasn't sexual torture, then this is the second time she has been like that. The first time was from Tartaros with Kyoka. Actually, Kyoka and Kyria. Is that a coincidence? Whatever. It's either way. The fairy tale wizards are revived, and of course, the only thing the complainers are gonna say, like, they stood no chance against fighting against them when they had good odds. So how are they gonna fight against them now? Well, I'm just saying, because it is fairy tale. and the other situations weren't into their liking. Kyria only won because she cut Ersa's strength, and now that hopefully that won't work again. And the armored guy only won because Natsu was immobilized. And well, the only guy who technically won was the Ash guy, but again, Gray just didn't know how the Ash thing worked. I think he was gonna do that now. So please, return to hope, and let's be done with it. Give me your thoughts if you have.